Good morning, Bill. Happy New Year.
Same to you, and welcome to 2015.
It's about time.
Well,
2014 was kind of a long, tough year.
well, it was. The mortgage business was down 40% in origination.
Yep.
Servicing decline, and
the good news was?
well, the good news was several things. All right, several things. Interest rates are way down. Nobody predicted that. And by the way, nobody predicted that oil, O-I-L, I don't know how you enunciate the word, but it's spelled O-I-L. No one predicted that oil would go down from $100 a barrel. This morning it's in the mid-50s.
Yeah.
Amazing. And they're talking about a big decline in energy and how that's going to affect companies. Hey, we've experienced that big decline in the mortgage business. Right? You know, that's what happened in 2014.
Sure, yeah, I mean, well, you know, oil prices being low is both good and bad.
It is good and bad.
In the short run, the supply and demand curves for oil are very steep. You know, so it doesn't really.
Well, let's make it personal. I drive a Ford F-150 pickup. All right, it has got a big tank. I have paid as much as $80+ to fill up that tank. In fact, it probably pushed toward 90. Yesterday, I filled up my tank and I did not spend $40.
Isn't that great?
That's fantastic. The question is, what am I going to do with the other 50?
Well,
now I've got some kids in college. So they won't, you know, they got their hand out. The point is, will we spend that? And our economy is based on consumption. It's like 70%, or well, 2/3 consumption.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think people will eventually get into the mortgage area, but initially they're putting aside some money and they're paying down some of their debt and taking down.
You know, the founder of BlackRock, Larry Fink, the other day said we're going to have mortgage rates. Well, actually, he didn't say mortgage rates. He said the yield on the 10-year, which is a proxy for mortgage rates, would be below 2% before it got to 3%. And that's a paraphrase. Really said it's going to be below, go below 2, and we're going to see it at 2.5 by the end of the year, not 3. This morning, Jeff Gumlach, another bond soothsayer, so to speak, said we're going to see, fund manager, said we're going to see the long-term treasuries test the recent historical lows, the recent lows of 1.38 on the 10-year. Now, if we see that, we will see tremendous refinancing, because at 1.38 you'll see 30-year mortgage rates in the 3% range.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different factors that are going on. So much of that is driven by the political situations in other countries. And for example, on the oil prices, we've seen those low prices for several reasons. The China economy is down, European economy is down.
So we're talking demand here,
right,
and economists speak, right?
Right.
You're teaching me. I'm trying to learn as economists speak.
And the supply doesn't change very quickly.
In fact, it's gone up.
Supply has gone up, which is a little bit unusual. Certainly the U.S. supply has gone way up. I mean,
and we can't really, there's no serious exports of oil and gas from the U.S.
No, not a lot, but we're covering our own demand is the main big difference.
We're not buying at other places,
right?
Or if we are buying at other places, we're stockpiling.
Yeah, and so that doesn't change very fast. Now, eventually, I mean, what's happened in the past is particularly Saudi Arabia, which is a massive amount of oil. When the demand has fallen, they've cut back supply. This time they didn't, and so that's drove.
They want to maintain. In fact, they might want to increase market share.
Yeah. And
because their cost of production is like very, very low, like $10. I've heard like numbers like $10 a barrel.
It's very cheap, and our fracking, which is a bulk of our new oil production, is very expensive. And so at the $50 range, it's not economical to do the fracking. So if it stayed at that level, supply would start coming out of the market.
But it's a long-term thing.
Right. And so I think, if you want a prediction...
Okay, we're going to get the predictions. Okay, go on 3. You give me 3?
Oh, I can give you more than that.
Okay, we'll give me 3. Give me 3. I want 3 predictions.
I think
3 major predictions
for this whole year are going to be in the 60 to 70 range.
You think oil and gas prices? So you think they're going to go back up?
Well, I think that, I think they're down now. They're going to come back up a little bit, but they're not going to go anywhere near the 100 mark.
But they're going to be above
60,
50.
70, yeah.
Above 50. All right, that's one prediction. All right, Give me another one, because I'm going to give you three.
I think that the Fed is finally going to go up on interest rates this year.
This year?
Uh-huh.
It doesn't matter like when, but you're not going to say when.
September.
They're not doing July, they're going September.
Right.
The July, they're going to get spooked out, and
Yeah.
because of lots of things.
I mean, the
They go
economy has grown very, very dramatically this past year. You don't see it so much in the GDP, but in the we've had the best increase in employment since the 90s.
Okay.
This past year, so
All right.
Employment has gone way up. Now this year, the new jobs creation is not going to be as strong as last year, but it's still going to be well over averaging 200,000 new jobs a month. And so that's going to make a big difference. That's going to create some demand in the economy.
So oil and gas goes 60 to price of the demand causes it to go to 60 to 70. The Fed raises rates at least once this year.
Right.
All right, that's two predictions. I got a third one.
Well, I mean, I think that on average we're going to produce about 200,000 new jobs.
200,000 new
And
jobs.
so I would say that by the end of the year, unemployment is going to be down around 5.3.
That's getting like full employment. That's like
That's why the Fed is going to
go up.
up the rates.
All right.
They're going to start getting worried about inflation toward the end of the year.
So I have my own three.
Oh, good.
All right. Before the end of 15, we renormalized relations with Iran.
Okay.
Before 2015 is over with, there will be some sort of consulate or embassy. I don't know exactly how long this takes to build, but I don't think they'll build it. I think they'll just rent something or give them some space or something in Tehran. That's one.
You going to take that ambassador position?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. All right, that's one. All right, I was surprised. I was very surprised at Cuba, but when you think about it, it makes sense economically. It makes a lot of sense economically. So that's one. All right, two. I think we will see 10-year yields below 2%. I do believe we will see that, and I think we'll see that early in
And then it'll
the
start
year.
coming back.
And the reason we will see that will have nothing to do with the Fed. It would be driven by three factors. One, oil prices. Two, general disinflationary or deflationary fear. And three, some of the actions that are going on in Europe. And so I think we'll see the 10-year below 2. I don't know if it's going to test 138, but I think we're going to see it below 2. And I think there's probably an 80 or 90% probability that's going to happen.
All right.
And the reason I say that is, if you look at oil demand, it's historically low in the first quarter if it's a mild winter.
Right.
And I think we're going to have a wet winter, not a cold winter.
Is that your third prediction?
That is my third prediction. All right, so we're going to step out there.
We're predicting the weather
and
now.
predict the weather. Exactly. Okay. And so as a result of all that, you're going to see natural gas, heating oil, stay down. Normally they spike up, but I don't think you're going to see that. I think you're going to see a wet winter, not a cold one. And so those are my three predictions. And so you've heard our predictions here. One of the things we're going to do next week is we're going to do a couple of book reviews. And there have been some books out there that have been burning up the financial press. Specifically, we're going to be talking about Creativity, Inc. and Little Bets. And we'll be talking about those two as we start the new year. You know, Mark Zuckerberg's got a book club. He's asked everybody to read at least one book every other week. All right, 2 books a month.
Whoa.
And so we've had for those of you that may not be familiar with our culture, those are clients, we have a book club internally. We've had one for some time, and we've been reading the book we're reading now is Creativity, Inc. It's about Ed Catmull and Pixar. I'm not sure that's the way you enunciate his name, but it's a southern version. And so we're going to be talking about that and having a creative culture, and so that's all good. Do you have anything else you want to say when you talk about predictions? Is there any way out there prediction you want to make for 2015? Because we're about out of time.
Does it have to be a creative one?
No, it doesn't have to be creative. It can be very uncreative.
Well, I think housing prices are going to drop off a little bit. They've been increasing. Last year we saw prices increase about 5.5%, housing prices. And I think this year we're going to be looking at more like about 3% over the year.
Are the regulators going to keep their hand on the bank's neck, or are they going to let off a little bit? Is this the year of regulatory relief, or no? No.
No, I think there's going to be some congressional attempts at that, but I don't think anything's going to happen this year.
So people still going to cry uncle, or are they going to just
No, I think the regulators are going to get more aggressive.
more flesh?
Yep.
All right. Well, this is F&C's Morning View. This is Bob Dorsey. I'm Bill Rayburn. You all have a fantastic day. We'll talk about books next week. Goodbye, Bob.